Yo, what's up, everybody? What is up? Rich, I got your bait done. And these two guys have a nice, thick, new, fresh clear coat. Rich, I took this one and I filled in your little hole down here with some super glue to seal it up, and then threw a little paint over it to match rather than, trying to get hardcore on this thing and make more work than it was worth. So now it's ready to roll. Looks nice. It is encapsulated in a nice bed of super glue gel, and it's got some clear coat on it, so it should be good to go. Marty Burns, Kyle, what's up? What's up, AJ? I gotta find your hardware. You can't see it, but your oldie plug looks good. Rich, yeah, I think they had Frank. What's up, man? Rich. I think the deal with these was they might have had some issues with their build coats, and because a lot of I know it's just the nature of build coats, dippable build coats, that they're very troublesome at times, where if you're not redipping within a certain window of time, if you wait too short, if you wait too long, uh, they're very picky when it comes to stuff like that, and they have a tendency to want to crack if they are not done in the appropriate amount of time. So I believe they probably had an issue. It seems like they worked out for the most part. They got all that eventually worked out. These weren't as bad um, about cracking as the 90s purple packaged Dominican uh, pre original series. Those were really, really, really bad about cracking. I never had a lot of these crack that bad. Um, I'm looking. I don't know if I have any up there. I mean, I've got quite a few, but there's a lot of variations in those. Like, we'll look at yours compared to mine. There's one. Uh, there's one. There's one. Uh, but this one I used quite a bit, and it's got a fair amount of little cracks, but that's probably from me hitting them on stuff. Um, you can tell there was some sort of something. I struck something with that. Uh, there's some dings from running into stuff. The bill has been re-glued. Um, this one's had a hard life, but it's held up good. I'll give it that. No cracks, excessive cracks. But the funniest thing to me is the color variations. Like, if you look, and this is one thing I don't typically like. If you look at this one, it's got a rounded off nose. Don't like that. If you look at this one, it's beautiful. It's got a nice pointy nose. but they're two different colors. You probably can't see, but this one's like faded out yellow, and this one's actually chartreuse. But you never knew what you were going to get back then. It was just kind of whatever. But these are great, dude. I don't know if they're. I don't know. I don't know if there's ever been a better deal on a balsa crankbait than the original series Bagleys when they were like $5.99, because you can find them everywhere for $5.99. And that to me was like I should have bought way more. Looking back, $6 for a damn balsa bait. Is pretty damn good. And you could get, I mean, no matter if they cracked or what happened to them, they were worth that. You know what I mean? Like if you like, I'd buy one for $6 cracked now. But even right out of the package with them cracked. But these are going to be, Richard, these are going to be two different baits. These are going to run a lot different. This is one thing I think that was the issue. If you look at these line ties, if you look at the line ties, the yellow one, is sticking out way farther and it's a little higher. This one's tucked in neatly to the bait and it's right on the bill. This one not tucked to the bill and sticks out a little more. So these should not run the same. This one's going to be the shining star, I bet. I don't know. We'll see. But did I ever finish the mothership? I did. Sent it back to Georgia. Let's see. Do I have a picture? Did I even take a picture of it? No. I got a shitty picture of it. Let's see. There's how it started. How did it end up? Here's how it ended up. A little more bluegilly, a little more natural. The missile fields of Nebraska. They do sound remote. How far out am I on work? Brian, I'm not terrible. I'm finally getting I'm finally getting a little bit caught up, so I should be within a reasonable turnaround frame. It's just taken me forever in 2022, 23, whatever year it is, has not started off good. It's been very slow to get the wheels turning. It's been sick, just been, dealing with shit, having to do stuff, picking up beds, just damn everything. You can't like get in a groove and like start like churning stuff out. So I finally got my workload like to where it's coming in, it's getting done, it's moving out, it's getting normal. Rain is certainly not helping. Yesterday though, the thing about it is like I can deal with cold humidity, paint wise, because the cold and the humidity kind of help each other out. Like the cold kind of helps me. Seems like my paint spray's decent in cold, humid air. Um, because the cold seems to slow the flash time down, and it kind of helps deal with the humidity. So you don't have to run as much reducer and like try and deal with or retarder. You don't have to deal with like troubleshooting humidity issues as bad. Um, but hot humid is a different story. That's when shit gets annoying. That's when I have to like paint something and then just like hang it up and then go like walk around and do something for like 10 minutes and then walk in there and like touch it. Because hair dryers don't work. Like that shit's just got to do its thing. Um, but summertime humid is bad. Wintertime humid is good. What's up, South Jersey? Face first. What you doing, dude? Um, let me see. I gotta get some stuff. I need stuff. I need tails and I need eyes for Mr. Cam. Mr. Cameron. Kevin is really going hard with these staples now, bro. I don't like staples. All right, I need some scissors. Dude, I got these as a gift. They're like some sort of shears. My buddy's mom gave them to me for Christmas one year. They won't cut this baggie. But I got them as a Christmas present, and they were like a as seen on TV, like QVC thing. And those son of a bitches are awesome. This is like the only thing I've found that they won't cut is a flimsy little plastic baggie. But it's fine. It's only one thing. It's only one thing they won't call it cut. I've got razor blades for that. I think Florida would be a rough place to try and paint. I think it would be a wintertime thing. Yeah, I know Bagley when they were down in Winter Haven when they were doing stuff in house that they constantly fought humidity. And I want to say Lee Sisson talked about how they would have to like literally adjust their paint like hourly by the humidity. But I wonder what Lee's like. As much as Lee has been around baits and building baits and painting baits, I would like to see Lee's paint skill set, or just like bring Lee to my shop on like a severely humid hot summer day and be like, Lee, let's see some of your paint wizardry. Let's see what you do, bro. That's hitting good. I'm missing a set of eyes. Did I just pull out 3 sets of eyes and just stick them somewhere that I don't remember? Or is one? There they are. They were stuck to the tail. All right. I got those 2 tails, and I need to find Rich's hardware. Less than 20 inches of rain all last year. AJ, I bet we got 20 inches of rain in probably a couple months. Like I think we got 4 like last week. And we're probably getting another 4 right now. Aha! I knew I didn't throw that shit away. All right. Kind of got nervous there for a second though. Let's put this old warlord together. Is the Instagram the yeah, I like talking on Instagram. It's easier than email. It's easier than email. I prefer it. Email just gets busy, dude. Like in an Instagram message, I can look back and like scroll up real fast and see what you wanted. But in an email thread, it shit just gets lost. Maybe that doesn't go in that hole. Where'd that go? Oh. What is going on with this thing? It's got some weird bumps and bruises on it. Sound good, Brian. Yeah, email I just don't like. I just don't like it. Especially like if you got somebody that's chatty, you tend to lose a lot. You know what I mean? Like if you've got like dude wants some baits painted and he wants to send 15 very short messages and you get this long email thread that is when it comes time to actually do the work or see what they wanted, it gets a little busy. Which makes my life a little more confusing. I need some sort of little hammer or something. So, weird. These things have done battle. Don't snow here either. Or some guy wants to know what you dip your bull testicles in. Brandon Palaniuk dropped repellent, went to Megabass. Correct, he did. That probably wouldn't have happened if the piece of shit company that owns Rapala now didn't own Rapala. If Rapala was still Rapala, everything would probably be good in the world. So I don't blame him. I would have left those losers too. Brendan, what's up? Can't see it. It's got a faint chartreuse line down the side. Looks real good. Got a little color. It's gonna catch them. It's gonna catch them. It's got lots of iridescence that you won't be able to see. Cool plug. I didn't go too crazy. I needed to. That's what I've typically found on baits like this. If you try to get too fancy, it just looks dumb. Uh, like they need these baits need like a simple kind of just period, almost specific paint job. Like I could have done all kinds of like tip scales on this thing, and it would have just looked weird. Uh, I mean, there would have been some things you could have done which would have maybe changed it. I don't know. Anyone ever hear of Buddha Bait Company? Got a free pack of ribbon tail worms today with a bait I ordered. They look pretty good. Never heard of Buddha Bait Co. Rich, if you're still there, would you like me to put some split rings on these for you so you don't have to? I'll just go ahead and do that, whether you like it or not. I'm taking an executive decision here, Rich, and I'm going to put you on split rings so you don't have to deal with these shitty little hook hangers. So, because I wouldn't trust them. One, two, three, four, five. Now we're talking. Yeah, now you got a little wiggle room. Now you got a little wiggle room. I don't even know why I asked. All right, where's the other one? Here we go. Buddha baits. All right. Now you're back up to the 21st century where baits came with split rings on it. All right. Now, let's get started on these. It's time for me to get some new. Time for me to get new paper clips. They get gunked up pretty quick. All right. Black crappie. BGC. I need glue. A little dabble. Should put my gloves on because I know sure as shit as soon as I touch these things, then they're gonna get fingerprint haze on them. Maybe. Hopefully not. All right. Eyes are in. Yeah. Next piece of the pie, tail. First thing you do is I do a test fit. See how snug we're looking at here. Okay. Completion. Looks crappy. Crappy-ish. All right, number 2. What's up, dude? Anthony? Jeremy, I think we all know, if you keep up with bass fishing stuff, how sketchy ballistic seems to be. This isn't the first time they've pulled some shenanigans on people, I don't think, but to pull it on your pro dudes. But there was 7 pages on Bass Boat Central about it, if you care to read. Uh, I don't think anybody had any real, you know, real insider knowledge or anything, but I don't know. All right. Definitely. All right, what's next? Tail. Yeah, that's a shame too. I mean, they made a pretty cool looking boat. Um, Seemed to be nice. Uh, but it sounded like it was just it sounded like they just needed the cash. Um, you know what I mean? They couldn't afford to send Lee a discounted boat. That they needed to sell his boat to somebody else that was willing to pay full octane. But if you got to run your business like that, like, you're not selling enough boats. I mean, that would be like me hiring like 3 guys on the Elite Series to promote tacklecraft when those guys will probably draw more business than I can handle. Like, what's the point? Like, just do it without it. Bleeding bass. Check. Uh, yeah, ballistic Dick Lee over. Call him in August and ask how. Yeah, that was. They did ask him, like, you want another boat? And he's like, yeah, ordered it. Yeah, just kidding. You can't have that boat. Um, AJ, who's that dude that actually applies his clear coat with his fingers? Have you seen that guy? I used to see him post on Facebook. I want to say I was friends with him, and he would post about it, and like maybe he was on that Brotherhood page, but he's like, y'all talk about like touching baits and shit, and he's like, I put my clear coat on with my fingers. Why? Uh, Heard something. Um, Great boats, bad ownership. Yeah, it's a shame. But I mean, at the end of the day, can the world live without ballistic boats? Sure. Like, nobody's gonna miss them. Um, you never saw that, AJ? I gotta find that dude. I've got to find that guy. Yes, he literally, and like, I don't think he wasn't joking either. Like, he used to talk about it a lot. Like, anytime somebody would be like, I think calling him out. I think he might even posted a video of it. But he's like, listen, I clear coat all my baits with my fingers, and I think he uses epoxy. And he would just take it and like put it on his finger and like smear that shit on, dude. Uh, Kyle, I heard. I think I read 8 boats last year is what they produced. Maybe. Um, Marty, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, okay, say you can get away with it, why 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 not just use a brush? Why do you want clear coat? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. uh South Jersey, no, that doesn't make sense. I mean, the only sense that it does make is like if you're going to smear anything around clear coat wise with your fingers, um, it would certainly be epoxy, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. um AJ, let me see that. Let me see if I can find this dude. You know what's that stupid group, the Brotherhood? I'm like the only person left with any credence that hasn't been disbanded from that group. Um, hmm. Okay, let's do the clown. I'll have to do some searching, dude, and figure out who this was. I remember he always had dirty ass fingers too. I haven't seen Brotherhood post on Facebook in a couple of years. That's good, Kyle. It's probably doing your brain good. That's what I'm saying, Marty. Like, it's so easy to just buy a damn shitty brush and throw it away. Wiping his ass with his fingers. That's what it looks like every time. I feel like every time he would post a picture of his baits, like uh, his hands, they're always had like shit all over them. It's like, why? I know guys who paint with brushes and still have shitty clear coats. Yeah, the brush doesn't is not a miracle worker. That is for certain. Um, Got to get inspiration from somewhere. That's right. Got to get it from the pilot, your idol. AJ's got a Orenstein's shrine above his paint booth that he takes all of his inspiration from. He prays to it when he's painting. He says, Ornstein, please bestow upon me your brotherhood of custom crankbait knowledge and lead me to paint only a small fraction as good as you. Thank you. I used a sable brush for a while, but got tired of cleaning it. What would you just soak it in acetone or something? Yeah, I've never. Some people use they call them acid brushes. I've seen those get a little stringy at times and leave hairs, but I always use the little kids. I always use the little kids like 1,000 pack colored paintbrushes. The only thing I saw one time was that if you got the epoxy too far up the brush, the epoxy would react to the plastic and sometimes it would bleed, but only specifically the red ones. So I typically did not use red craft kids paintbrushes, um, because those were the only ones I found to bleed with epoxy. So I would use every color but those. So if you happen to walk around my shop and you just see nothing but red brushes laying around, that's the reason, because I had a surplus of them. Tip of the day. You never had problems with red burns? Maybe it's that shit I was using. Reacted, had something in it. Who knows? But I quit using them. Eyeballs. Dick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Burns, it was probably because I was it might have like you never know what people do. Like I might have been I was probably pouring like MEK in my epoxy to try and like thin it out or something. Like who knows what was going on. It might have had alcohol in it. It might have just been regular epoxy. At that point, who the hell knows? Um, but as many BGCs have you painted? Have you ever caught a fish on one or even thrown one long enough to catch one? Jeremy, I've never thrown one, period. The only one I own is a lipped bluegill that doesn't have a lip in it and half the back section is knocked off. Now, I will tell you, bros, this thing is a damn specimen. Like, if this thing ever goes up for sale and you see it, buy it. Just for the damn paint job. This one is legit. This one is legit. I was very, very proud of this one. When I got done with it yesterday, I was like, damn, you did good, bro. You did good. I was talking to myself. And I'll show you the picture if it'll focus on it. Well, you can't really see it. There's a little better. You can't tell, but Burns, thank you. But this one was like real good. Like they've all got shit I would change about them, but like this one was like color, detail, like it had it all. This one was legit. And I wish they all came out like that. But like every bait I paint, I feel like is great, but some of them you want to keep. And this is one of those that, you know, I was like, damn, that's a wall hanger. That's a relic. This would be good in the tackle craft museum. This would be a good specimen. But like for instance, like this bait looks awesome, but it's not like I didn't get done painting and been like, damn, I wish I could keep that. But that one certainly did. All right. Got eyes. Got Rich's baits put together. Got these Baglays put together. Hopefully they hold up for you, Rich. They've got plenty of clear coat on them. They are seem to be sealed up. All the crackies are sealed. Very hard. They should last you a good time. Not Marty Burns long, but maybe 75% of that. I use True Coat now, so I do not need to thin it, but I hear what you are saying. Sweet lightning bolt screen. That's my Harry Potter screen, dude. That is a result from my phone living in the paint room and me digging through paint bottles and knocking it off and it hitting concrete. No wall hangers. Yeah, I actually did. I did see a bait that I painted for a dude that I don't know what he did to it, but he beat the shit out of it because it was a Rich. It's up. Our first live is next weekend with Burns. He's going to do a live carving. And speaking of Burns, I have to. We have to practice. We have to do a test run to see if we get your stream running right. So whenever that may be, before Saturday, preferably. But so I painted this workhorse for a dude, and he hit it hard, dude. He beat the shit out of it because not only did he, like, the paint held up great, but he hit something hard enough that it went through my paint, Mickey's paint, Mickey's primer, my clear coat, Mickey's clear coat, went through all of our shit and got straight to resin, which you don't typically see on Mickey's bait unless you have some serious impact. It was like that oyster color. But he was selling this bait. And I was like, dude, that thing's just getting juicy. But you can tell right there in that joint, that dude smacked something hard. But I don't know if those quads were reaching up that high, South Jersey. They might have been getting up there. That seems a little high. That looks like impact. But he's got a nice little rash ring going up top. But that's what I like to see, dude. That's what you want to see if you're a painter. The perfect rash ring. I'm against wall hanging. I buy baits to use and abuse. Yeah, that's like I don't know. You see these guys and they literally just buy everything. You know what I mean? Like they'll show like their wall and they've got literally one of everything, but it's all like the trendy shit. And it's really annoying when you see it. Because there's baits out there that like are better or, do something better. and like, oh, check out all my shit, and it's all like flawless. But it not only is it flawless, it's all the like new stuff. Like they don't have a 316, they don't have a Tato, they don't have like any of the like they don't have a Hinkle, which Hinkles are harder to get, but um, no depths 250. It's all like just like shit. Um, but he's selling it because it's not swimming, probably. Uh, People are hoarding Burns baits, waiting on him to kick the bucket. Um, no, that's the thing, Jeremy. You don't need every damn. That's the thing is like is there's only so many waking cranks or whatever it is, shad glides. Like I guess that's the big joke now is like everybody has a shad glide with a brush tail. Um, I mean, it's a lot. But it like it's commendable for the guys that come out with like something in a category that isn't that fills a niche. And there's plenty of that shit left, but most people don't do that. Um, uh, See, all this shit over here is not. It's wall hanging, but it's backups times 10. Um, what's up, Tim? Um, I know Burns. He's gonna get all pissy on me, but I have a large Bagley stash. But if you've ever thrown a Bagley, uh, they don't last hardly ever. They would probably last about as long as as it would take you to go through a bag of worms if they were biting on a worm real good. Like if you catch them good on a Bagley in one day, your Bagley's probably going to be dicked up. It's going to have chunks taken out of it. It's going to be it's going to need repair. So I figure if I have 50 Bagleys, I've got about 50 good days of catching them on those baits. And that's really not that much. You know what I mean? Uh, if you look at them as that they're going to be destroyed from like if you go out and catch 20 pounds on one, if you have a 20-pound day, 4-pounders mixed in, maybe a five, um, and then some twos from just fishing, your bait's probably going to be cooked. Uh, you might lose a bill. You're probably going to have some sort of chunk taken out of something, some portion of the body to where uh, it will begin to take on water. Um, so you got a day, a good day. Um, Later, Frank. Thanks for sticking around. Um, Ooh, this is a good one. Had a project manager. This looks good. Had a project manager. He would collect old baits or what cost the most and hang them on his office wall. He couldn't tell you the history of them, nor did he bass fish. That's interesting. I wonder what he liked about them. Just the way they looked. Um, Anyone else have OCD and fish with lures and put them back in their original packaging during the winter? I've never heard of anybody doing that. Like, so you set you set your tackle boxes up with all your baits in it. You go out and fish, and then like at the end of the season, you pull out a giant Rubbermaid container with all the original packaging, and then you take the baits out of your tackle trays and put them in the original packaging and hang them back up. Is that what I'm hearing? Anthony, I have changed that. Now I'm not buying baits unless I really want them and I do have issues. I can't find them on Google, but I don't know that I'd want something softer than robo worms. I don't like soft shit, honestly. But I don't fish in Lake Mission Viejo or any shit like that, or Lake Mead, or I just fish down here in stupid rivers where the fish are dumb and they eat hard worms. Um, I would stop building baits if my baits failed that quickly. Well, Burns, Bagley was in the business of selling baits, so they didn't need them to last forever. That's where guys like you come in. Without Bagley, there would be no Burns, right? Because everybody would be like, man, these Bagleys last forever. Then Burns wouldn't have anything to top. Um, and I'm okay with that, Tim. Like, if I know something's going to catch them and it's going to get destroyed, I mean, it's better if it lasts. But um, Anthony, you must have a vast collection of packages. What do you? All right, here's a question. What do you do if you go out and you're throwing, say, a Strike King Series 5 and you go out and lose it? Will you go home and inventory your packages and find the Series 5 packaging that went with that lost bait and then dispose of it? Or will you save it? There are quite a few people that don't fish and just appreciate the craftsmanship of wood baits. It's interesting. I didn't know there was I didn't know there was a market for people just liking wood baits that don't even fish. Uh, I think Cruz is a genius just to have other companies do the dirty work. And then, Anthony, I don't think it's genius at all. I think it's the opposite. Like, it makes me throw up in my mouth, honestly. Like the Robo Worm deal, I just buy a Robo Worm. Like, all the colors look pretty much the damn same. Uh, why would I pay more for a Robo Worm with a different package? Uh, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, to me, when I saw the missile worm, uh, it just looked like a fat Robo Worm. Like, this isn't this isn't smart. This isn't, like, I'm sure he'll probably sell some, but like, yeah, it's just a cash grab. It just, I'm out of ideas. What else can I do? Folk art, interesting. I could get behind that. Marty's got a folk art bait from me. Y'all will get to see it soon. It would probably, Burns, would you consider that bait the green one? Would you consider it folk art? Because it's certainly not a finely tuned crank machine. Correct, AJ. That's the only that's the only paint to use. Walmart. Thin it with tap water. But yeah, I thought that missile collab was really weak, really weak. Because it's not even like they're just making their own worm for you. So whatever. I can't wait for the round lip version, Burns. Uh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like if I'm gonna use RoboWorm for their stuff, like why not do something completely different that they don't offer and that maybe nobody offers? Um, yeah, I don't know. I just it just seemed kind of wormy, pun intended and not intended. Um, I mean, maybe AJ, but like, why can't you just like leave RoboWorm alone? Like, just let them be RoboWorm. You know what I mean? I mean, I know nobody forced them to do it; that they willingly did it. But like, Missile Baits isn't RoboWorm. Like, RoboWorm developed that. Let them be RoboWorm. That's who they are. That's their business. Like, I don't know. I do like me some Zoom, Burns. I do like me some Zoom. But at the end of the day, AJ, if Missile wanted the pouring process or whatever, you're still buying an overpriced robo worm. I think that's the rub, is that it doesn't have anything to do with like what you're really getting is just a robo worm that's more expensive. Yeah, just give me robo worms. I respect them wanting to collab over knocking off their process versus Berkeley. The problem is they can't knock their process off because they don't manufacture their worms. So they would have to go to, Southern Plastics or whoever pours their worms and say, "Hey, y'all need to pour worms like RoboWorm." And they're going to say, "Eat a dick." No, get RoboWorm to do it. I say, "Okay." Which that conversation might have happened. Hey, why don't y'all pour me worms like RoboWorm does it? And they'll say, "Because we don't pour worms like that." So, um, I don't know. Later, Burns. Yeah, like I've always, back when I was trying to hunt for the perfect jig trailer, I was looking for, it wasn't a perfect jig trailer. I wanted a substitute for a Zoom Super Chunk, right? Because Zoom did not make enough colors in the Super Chunk to uh, tickle my fancy. So I sought custom pourers to try and get me a Super Chunk in some colors that I wanted. And and I told every one of them, like any guy that ever poured me baits, I just want them to feel like a Zoom super chunk plastic. I want their salt. I want like whatever that is, just make it feel like Zoom. None of them ever did. The closest I will say Prodigy. Austin did a good job. I like the way his plastic feels. It's very zoomy. It's kind of like a cross between Zoom and Reaction. Um, will Cruz be the next Boyd, just ripping off other companies and putting his hands in every aspect? Just meh. Probably. He's got the cash too, so why not? Why not? I don't know. Brendan, you would have to ask AJ. He is the Robo Worm aficionado. I don't know all about their. I don't know all about their what they do with their worms. MM2. This was always my favorite. Red crawler of all worms. A spotted bass will run for miles to eat this damn thing. Looks awesome. And the only reason I used this, or the only reason I own this worm, because Aaron Martins was fishing the Alabama River in a Bassmaster Elite Series event, and he was throwing that red crawler, and he absolutely mauled them. And I said, I fished that same river. I need those. So I got a pack, went and threw them, caught the shit out of them. So good enough for me. Thanks, Aaron. You can't store a robo worm in a well lit place. Will they fade out? Am I ruining my robo worms in here? Obviously, these are not freshy robo worms. These are probably 10 years old. Here's the package. It says hand poured by robot in the USA. There you go. Robot poured. Red crawler sleighs. I throw that on the river a lot. There you go. I never really like a robo worm. I never bought it for like softness or anything about it. I just wanted that color. I think if like Zoom made this color, it's like triple laminate. If Zoom did that, I think I'd catch them just the same. I don't get off on suppleness of worms, unless it was like, I guess it's because I don't worm a lot. But I really don't like soft stuff. I think that's what I like about Zoom so much is it stays on the hook good, and it's just the perfect balance of like softness and toughness. I buy cheap plastic, but $20 to $40 crankbaits. Well, you gotta cut somewhere. Like if you're gonna spend up. The thing about crankbaits is you keep them. They're an investment. They last unless you're just careless. And there's plenty of people that fish carelessly, and it makes me cringe when you meet one and they throw out there and they like get a bait hung up and then they just go and pop it and just walk back and get them another one. It's like, dude, you didn't even try to get that off. Um, and but I mean, you spend 20, 40, 30 bucks on a crankbait and it's built well, get one of Burns's. I mean, unless you're just like a dickhead that like pops shit off before you even try to get it off, stuff lasts infinitely. Um, People wanted tough plastics, they would buy Z-Man shit. Yeah, no thanks. If Z-Man Elastec was wiped off the face of the planet tomorrow, I would probably sleep better. I can't stand that shit, dude. Uh, Brennan, you got plastisol too? Um, Dude, I don't know how Z-Man stays in business. There, I mean, I do, but as far as like like soft plastics, that shit is awful. I don't know how they still sell it. Ugh. Because I remember Strike King used to have an Elastec line, and and I remember buying a pack of Strike Kings. I think they had like the Ocho in it, and then they had some little swim baits, and then they had some other shit in it. And I bought a pack of the little swim baits to trout fish with, like speckled trout, and and yeah, just trying to put that shit on a hook was just really annoying, and it wouldn't snug up onto the collar like no, I'm good on this stuff. And then if they touch something else, they melt. Like, uh, Tim, you're probably right. Bob says the only Z-Men I use are the TRDs. They work when others won't, but I will always try the RoboNeds first. Like here we have the vast majority of people in this chat do not like Elastec. And I feel like y'all are a pretty good representation of probably the fishing community. So who's buying this shit? Strike King still has their stretchy baits. Um, the Bass Pro Robo Worms are the same price as regular Robo Worms. Da, 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 What I don't understand is some of these JDM companies are making Elastec baits that don't react with other baits, yet Z-Man couldn't do it. Ooh, good for them. I bet that pisses them off. But what didn't Strike King have their lineup before like Z-Man Elastec was even like even if Z-Man was making it, it was before I feel like Z-Man ever made a push in that. Like Z-Man wasn't prevalent as they are now. Like they were still kind of crummy. Um, Strike King was first. Yeah, I've got some in the other room where the real junk is. But This was my other one that I always did really good on. It wasn't MM2, it was MM3. Those were real good. It was like that natural blue color. Now, if you really want to catch their ass, they're so faded. That's why I have these. Mr. Twister, Phenom, whatever they're called. Grape Firetail. The problem is, AJ, what happens is they sit on your wall and get faded, and you catch the shit out of them on the faded version, and then you're like, oh, I need more MM3 robo worms, and you go buy new ones and you go fish them and they don't work, or you don't catch anything. And you're like, oh, they're not faded enough. They need to sit in my office for 7 years and fade out. Yeah, Jeremy, I kind of put them in that kind of category. Uh, they're in there with like, which they're a monster company just because of the chatterbait. Like without the chatterbait, I don't think they would be shit in the. I guess the TRD people love it, but I don't think anything else they really make is good at all. Um, but they're like kind of up there with like Lunker Hunt and like bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Like Lunker Hunt is pathetic. Live Target, like they're kind of like in those just poop brands. Uh, where was Z-Man pre-Chatterbait? Kyle, I think they were building silicone skirts and probably making Elastec baits for Strike King. Um, yeah, they weren't much of a brand, freestanding brand as far as retail. Firetails are like that busted up chick that wears too much makeup, who's always at the bar. She's a lounge lizard. Super gaudy, but last resort, you can always count on getting some. It's a good description. Um, the new Signal Komodo looks nasty. Uh, let me look this lizard up. I mean, is it going to be more effective than a Zoom lizard? Probably not. I don't know how that's even possible, but it might look better. I could give it that. Signal Komodo lizard. Lure. I just got a message from South Jersey. Maybe he sent me a picture of it. South Jersey, are you sure you didn't mean the Guggenbait Slizzard lizard? I think you meant the Slizzard lizard. Magma 200. Interesting looking bait. Interesting looking bait. Oh, wow. It's got a very aggressive tail. Legs look pretty decent. Got a bunch of little holes in it. Pretty decent looking. It's pretty beefy looking lizard. Looks nice. I was never a fan of the Zoom Magnum lizard. I always thought the proportions were wrong. Like it was like the same thickness as the 6-inch. They just like stretched it out and it made it look stupid. I think they should have put a little more beef in the body and it would have maybe made it look a little better. And but Jason, I don't. Riverside made a floating one. Yeah, the Air series. I've got the Air Centipede. It was a good. Water Dragon by Culprit. Let's look that one up. Culprit Water Dragon. It's got that stupid water dog head. I'm not a fan of that. It looks like those old ones they used to sell at the worm buffets. It does look like a water dog, though. Darius, you need to connect with Bob. I can make a trade. Get rid of your old air lizards. On parts of a few lunker hunts, no more. The centipede's got a few extra bites. Oh, and that's coming from centipede country on a rig. So maybe there's something to it. Tyler, you think that was like a thing? East Texas rigging? A floating, like your bait actually floating? Air fry. Let's see if I can find those. Air fry. Here we go. This isn't them, but back to it. So this predates. I was wrong. I forgot about these. This, I believe, predates Strike King Elastec, Z-Man Elastec. But it was made by Z-Man. This is the Terminator Snapback Super Soft Plastic for Skeet Reese. Maybe it didn't, maybe it wasn't before Strike King, but it was close. But I bought this for swimming, and I knew I probably I had it all figured out how I was going to keep this on an offset hook for swimming a worm, but because it's a badass gator tail. Like the design of the worm is awesome. It's just that stupid elastic stuff. So I'm not really in love with it, but we'll see. Oh, I think I'm going fishing tomorrow, so I need to pack my stuff. Bunch of Cincos I'm never gonna throw. Oh, look at this. An unopened pack of 3X stick baits. U.S. patent, don't care. Yeah. An unopened 4-pack, as seen on the Outdoor Life Network and on Strike King Protein Journal television. Kyle, it could. Maybe not, though. Like, you buy some of this shit, it's like, why? Why do I have this bag? Like, what was I going to do with this ugly ass thing? But the thing about it is that I could probably, like, looking at it now, I could probably take this, put it on a damn, 4-aught EWG, little 1/8-ounce sinker on the front, and swim it through the grass down here, and I would probably smash their ass on it. But I certainly wasn't doing that then. Chatterbait with no skirt, yeah, probably be good for that. But I mean, those are probably 20 years old. This was a great design. I don't know why these didn't ever take off. Anybody know? The man's hard nose. So if you're not familiar with these, the tip of the worm was an extra firm, hard, dense plastic where the body was normal plastic. So you would run your hook through and it would stay on the top of the hook better. Great concept. Makes total sense. But at the same time, obviously didn't translate well to fishermen's. But I have an 8-pack of those. Let's see how many are left. Let's see how many I actually used over the years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at some point I used 3, and I guess they didn't. Tyler said they would slip down bad, so they didn't work. I don't remember them. I remember thinking the idea was great, but you would think that they would have figured that out, that they didn't stay on the hook well before they went into mass production. But I guess they didn't care. Yeah, if they were slipping, why produce it, right? Why not go through your research and development stage and be like, these don't do what we thought they did. Let's try something else. Look at these losers. Strike King Rage Shad. Another random purchase. You get on one ribbit bite, and then you buy everything that you can reel on the surface. Oh, here's a badass looking worm, dude. I found this at a damn garage sale. So this is made by SOS Bait Company in McCalla, Alabama. Combining the latest technology with over 30 years of industry experience, SOS Bait Company strives to produce the best soft plastic lures on the market with tournament-proven designs and superior colors. Dude, this worm is freaking sexy. Like I said, I found it at a yard sale, and I'll never be able to find it again. And AJ is going to pop a total fat chub over this. Yeah, bro, that's like the sexiest red flake, blue swirl, like green pumpkin-y. It's not even green pumpkin though. It's like a, I don't know what you'd call it. It's sexy though, dude. And I'm scared to fish them. Uh, Anthony, it did. It had like a circle with a cross on it, like crosshairs. It's all worn off now, but it used to be up there. Um, all lures manufactured in the USA by one of Alabama's finest. Yeah, yeah, great packaging. Colors are awesome. Worms like a typical needle worm. Good worm. But I'm scared to throw them because they don't. I know I'm going to catch fish on them, and I won't be able to reproduce them. I can take these out. Damn, this is a Central Texas killer right here, dude. You want to go catch them down in Central Texas? It's the only color you need for anything. Doesn't matter. Fluke, trickworm, Cinco, spinnerbait, chatterbait, crankbait, buzzbait, frog. As long as it's sungill, you catch it. AJ, it will for sure catch them. But like I said, then I'll have to go down the wormhole trying to find some dickhead to try and recreate that's got a mold that's similar. What other weird stuff do I have in here? This is embarrassing. It was actually from this pack of worms that I stuck my little 15-year-old hand in to retrieve a worm to put on my Carolina rig that for the longest time accounted for my largest river bass that I caught way back in the day on a Carolina rig lizard. And I was like 15. And it wasn't just any lizard, bros. It was the 4-inch. And I caught damn near a 7-pounder on this damn thing. Carolina rigged in like 6 feet of water. Little bitty weenie lizard. Chartreuse pepper. Where's Jeremy talking about? Where did I miss Jeremy talking about tubes? Who makes a good tube anymore? I was looking last night and I just don't really see any flipping style. Travis Stearman sent me some. It might have been that same brand. It wasn't Dry Creek, I don't think. Who's talking about Bob talking about flat sides? Where am I missing all this? I'm sitting over here playing with my worm. We got guys talking about flat sides. 6 taps. Oh, I'm not a tap guy. The ball breaker. That was a good design. That was a good design. My old operator only throws the 4-inch lizards. I bet he smokes cigarettes. Bet me. Bet me. Tell me I'm wrong. I can Tips drinks wine with ice in a cup while he fishes. Yeah, same difference. Surprised me. It really surprises me that he doesn't smoke cigarettes. But here's some more robo worms just randomly laid out here. More little red crawlers. What is this garbage? Oh, this is kind of a nice find. Saltwater chug bug. Won't talk about that. How about a ghost goblin? Man's weedless marshmallow. Rat, frog, spittin' shad. Mans used to be so cool. What happened to them? Why do they suck now? Would they just go away already? Gave it up when they quit letting him smoke inside. So he did smoke. Aha! I was right. Yeah. That was an interesting color. Zoom Super Chunk. Flippin' purple. Oh, shit. Damn, there's an old pack of Mean Jeans. I need to give these away to somebody. I don't know why I still have them or what I thought they would be good for, but this is another yard sale or garage sale find that I thought, damn, I could catch something on that. It's like this really ugly green and gold. Hideous worm color. But you know what I could do to these? I can dye them black. And that's what I'll do. No need to trash these. I will just take them and dip them in black. Yeah, it is very perchy, AJ. It is very perchy. Do you think you can catch a bass on this? A whole produce bag full. Multiple worms. So y'all may have heard my first wacky rig story when I was like in probably 6th grade. So that would have been like 1997 or 96. 96 was the first time I ever threw a wacky rigged worm. And this was the original pack of worms from the late 90s. This is, hell, this might be the worm. It's got a hole in it. The cream scoundrel earthworm color. I, as a little amateur wannabe pro bass angler, took this worm, rigged a hook straight to the middle of it, threw it by a PVC pipe, 5-pounder bit it, and I spastically set the hook, or didn't at all, just kind of spazzed out. Fish comes jumping up as a big noggin. I shit my pants, and he throws my earthworm up in the air, and I lose the fish. But this is my original late 90s Ziploc bag I would take in my tackle to the ponds. Bulk, more bulk, baby brush hogs, knockoffs. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Motor oil red flake. That's the titties. Just only the greatest tube ever made. This one is it's not real motor oil though. It says motor oil red flake, but it doesn't. It's not like regular motor oil. It's just smoke. I don't know. I don't know where they got motor oil from. Why did I buy so many of these? This stupid bluegill color is terrible. I need to dye it just blue. I need to get some blue dye and just dye the whole thing blue. Flippin' blue. I always thought these were going to be deadly. The Zoom saber-tail worm. Never caught shit on them. Probably be a decent chatterbait trailer. Now that I look at it, just rip all the arms off and have these two flappers. There's 3 left. Random V&M lizard. All different colors. South Jersey, I have not. Y'all remember? Oh, that wasn't. Excuse me, I have a mistake. That was not V&M. That was this company, Seismic. Y'all remember these damn things? The Seismic Toad. I think everybody has some of these. Tika, what was your worst loss that you still think about today? You wish you had landed it. I don't know that I have one. I just get them in the boat, bro. I can't think of one, honestly. Like, I know I've had a few in tournaments that you like hook them and they like come off. That was good ones, but like I don't have that one that I think like cost me like a tournament or something. I'm trying to think out in Texas if I had any like big fish heartbreaks. Not really. Smoking cigs, boat flipping bigs. That's right. That's how you get the damn job done. You gotta smoke them heaters so you stay calm when you got a big boat side. I'm trying to think. The only one that sticks out in my mind, and it didn't cost me the tournament. I actually won the tournament, but I boat flipped a 3-pounder. First fish of the day. It was a 3-pound spot. I boat flipped it, and it came over the side of the boat and it hit the console, and then went back in the water. But I wish I would have caught that one because I wouldn't have won by like a smaller margin. I would have won by a much larger margin, and it would have looked better on paper. But a win is a win. But I would have preferred to have won big and look like I totally dominated, and not just like eked by like everybody else. Um, got nerves of steel. That nicotine is coursing through the veins. That's right, dude. That's right. Cool as a damn cucumber. Man, I didn't know I had such a stockpile of Mean Gene jigs. That was, dude, y'all would probably look at this and be like, what the fuck is that? But if I could tell you the poundage of bass that I caught on this damn jig, that one's got a little flexed out hook. Eagle claw hook, little flimsy weed guard, janky looking skirt. Dude, we could sink a damn battleship with all the fish I caught on this damn thing. And my buddies. This one seems well used. This one's out of the box, I believe. Got the Mean Gene eyes on it. Dude, this thing was something else. Something else. This used to be the greatest jig ever made. Oh, rattleback. What is this thing? Oh, this is when I started pouring Arky heads. And I don't think I lost more jigs in my life than when I started throwing that damn flat out Arky. Me and the flat out Arky didn't get along great at all. I like Delta stuff. They make a good product. I guess I don't use it, but they like just looking at it and like seeing it in the stores. Their packaging's nice, pretty simple, concise. I like their brand. I like the Delta people, and I don't even know them. More robo worms. They're everywhere. Did y'all ever use these? Is this the one with the tubes in it? Yeah. I thought these were going to be a good idea. They didn't cut it. Ooh, Slurpees. These are good. Dean Rojas series. Rage Crawl. Get out of here. The Zoom tube sucked. That's my tube bag. The owners are cool as shit. I spent a few weekends around them with my nation buddies. How about that? They seem like they would be. You can tell they got their shit together. I had somebody pour me some tubes one time. I sent him a picture, and this is what he came up with. And it is awful. It's like doo-doo brown with some copper flake in it. And it's all slimy. Doesn't have any salt in it. It's just gross. I got a whole bag of them. Never use those. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Go pitch a damn tube. I love some damn tubes. I think it's a forgotten, underutilized bait. Going to see thunder jigs getting thrown on the elites this year for sure. Who is that going to be? Tyler. Who did Delta sponsor? Oh, you want to see my new backpack I bought for tackle? Hold on. You might want one. Let me go to my truck and get it out. It's already got shit on it. What did I miss? Poor boy tubes always get the job done for me. So much salt. Drink some Patron and suck on a tube. Okay. Logan Latuso. Robbie was sponsored by them for years. Who's Robbie? We'll just leave Bob and Tim alone. They're doing their thing. Robbie Latuso. I don't know those guys. Hey, Tyler. Do you know a guy named let me look him up. I don't know if it's still let me see. Central. Do you know Danny Smith by chance? I know it's a generic name. Don't know that name. Well, he won the Central Open on the Red River in 2007. Um, and apparently he was the Red River Hammer for a while. Like he knew his shit around the Red River. Um, but yeah, back when it was good or decent. Um, but I fished with him at Kentucky Lake, and he was fishing out of the boat that he won at the Red River. I don't know what he was fishing in before, but uh, I got in his boat and he had the trolling motor laying down, and I was looking up at the front of the boat, and I was like, "What's wrong with this boat?" And it was ugly as shit, dude. It was like purple, and it was ugly. It was hit. No, it was. Excuse me. It wasn't purple. It was like American flag colors, but they were really badly done. Like it was really weird. Like all the colors were like off. Like it was just an ugly ass boat. Later, Rich. Um, but I got in his boat and I was sitting there looking at all of his shit, and I was looking at the front, and I was like, something's wrong. And I finally it hit me, and he was sitting back there smoking a cigarette, and I was like, "Hey, bro, where's your foot pedal?" He said, oh, "I ain't got one." Like, what do you mean? He's like, "You see that little button up there?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's my kill switch." I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "When I want it to go, I tap it." And he said, "When I want to turn it off, I just tap it." I said, "And you control the speed on the handle?" He said, "Yeah." And he had one of those like extendable handles. And I was like, "You like that shit?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Hand operated, huh?" He's like, "Yeah." And dude had 6 jigs and a damn spook tied on, and he had a bullfrog colored spook. And I was like, "You like that bullfrog colored bullshit?" And he's like, "Want me this damn boat?" I was like, "Well, I guess that's good enough." He's like, "That's the only color I throw." It's like, "No shit." And he's like, "Yeah, I just pitch that jig and throw that spook." I said, "I hear you, dude." Um, yep. How about that? Danny Smith. He was from Monterey, Louisiana. You want to see a picture of him? That's old Danny Smith. Damn. My old buddy Keith and his son Huntley and his fishing partner Triton were fishing a high school tournament over there at Eufaula. They had 18 and a half today. Um, old school bullfrog. That guy, I enjoyed fishing with him. He was a Brower type. He had his jigs. Keith Morris of Nacogdoches was second in the co-angler division. Huh. Oh, back to my backpack. So we found this on one of Amy's clothing apparel websites, and I think it's going to be good for tackle because it's wide enough that I think planos will fit in it. Oh yeah, with room, lots of room. Wow, lots of room. That's the full-size ones. So I could fit probably a lot of smaller ones in there. Okay. Okay. Which I don't need these gigantors, but maybe I need to go get me some smaller boxes. I think that's probably what I need. I need to get. I need to run up to Field and Stream and buy me some tiny boxes to fit in there. What am I? They say the same thing about the Sabine. I don't know what I'm going to take, Amy. I don't know what I'm going to take. That's a good question. It is a good question. Let's see. First, let me look at the tide, because that will tell me pretty much what I will need. I'm guessing if the tide is low, we certainly won't be flipping, and I won't need the braid pole. Where's Tides? Where's the Tide app? Tides, here it is. Ooh, not looking good. Let's go to Mayor Park, maybe. Or what about maybe State Docks? That's weird, Tide. So it's going to be Sunday. It's going to be low tide when we get there, incoming all day. So now, if we got a low tide at daylight, incoming all day, let me see which way the wind's blowing, because the wind's blowing out of the south tomorrow. We're going to have more water, and you might be able to flip and peach. So I need Sunday's forecast. Wind. West northwest, so it will not be coming in. It will be coming in against a north wind, so that will have it blown out a little bit. All right, so I don't think I'll need the heavyweight pole. What is this thing? 705. No frog. I need some new 20 on this. Check that hook out. Tyler, a big bladed spinnerbait doesn't do me any good, bro. You wouldn't think that would stick a fish. Tim, don't you worry about that, bro. Don't. I gotta have some stuff to myself. If you were a Patreon member, you might know that. Which brings me to a next point. Next week, Saturday, Marty Burns, live bait carving demo. Sign up on patreon.com/or/tacklecraft. And maybe I'll tell you who makes that jig. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put line on that. I'm going to put some freshy big game on it. Tim, you haven't been following along, dude? Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, I watched that Susquehanna fishing tackle stream with Eric. That was pretty short. Eric's little segment was not very long. He got on there and they were like, "See you later." I thought it was going to be for like he was going to be like a show guest. He was just there for like 10 minutes. I was disappointed. I need a drill. Take this to Academy and let them recycle it. Attention that a little bit. Almost done. I think. I hope I didn't spool this whole thing up. No, there it is. There we got to it. Red braid. That is a 200E, Michael. That's all I got, bro. That's all I use. Old crusty 200Ds. I did upgrade all the handle or the knobs to metaniums. Still a swim bait. Mostly spend my money on cranks, so easy to modify cheap swim baits. I usually Japanese spending keys of my own. I agree with that, Bob. Crankbaits are so much fun, though. I think that's the thing about it is like crankbaits are really and topwaters are really like the action figures for adults. All right. I'll take this. I'll take that pole. I'll take this pole. take this pole. I'll take this pole. Man, dude, I got so many poles I want to take. I think it should be good with just these. I got a cranking stick. I got a skinny dipper stick. I don't have a chatterbait tied on. I can put that on that pole. Noise. Take this Sally off. Might need that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is 8 poles too many? Is that too many for a co? I'll skinny dip while I skinny dip. Yes, Hayden, breaking news is I'm going fishing tomorrow, I believe. I hope. Let me go get my spool of Twinkie. Do me a little knot here. Nice little connector there. Let's get this thing snubbed off. Okay. Uh-oh. Did I just cut my knot? Come on, dude. I think I just cut my knot. Tried to get too close. Maybe I can salvage it. Let's see if this breaks. Yep. Damn it. Son of a bee sting. Dude, I don't know what this braid was, but I think I bought it because Hackney used it. I always saw Hackney flipping red braid, and I was like, good enough for Hackney. Good enough for Hackney, good enough for me. I need to go to Bass Pro Shops. I got a $50 gift card. I need to go buy me some of those Berkeley braid cutters. Those things are the shit. I don't know if y'all have used them. It's about my only thing I like from Berkeley. Perfecto. Oh, come on. I'll do this later so you don't have to listen to it. So you don't have to listen to it. Maybe I'll do it now. Precision wound. What did I miss? Wild lures. The boomerang line cutters are nice. Does anybody else do that but me? I cinch my knot down on my finger first. Like I get it started. Like I let the knot roll over on my finger to where I can see it. And then once I get it right there, I cinch it down. I don't know why, but that's the way I've always done it to check my knots. But the true test, let's see, if my knot didn't cross, pass the test. We're ready to go now. Is that white braid? Nope, just 20-pound big game. One would think. One would think. Let me check on my lines. On my cranking pole. Come off of there, hook. So looks like the Scorpion could probably use a few more strands of line. I'll do that later. Yes, weed whacker string. Got a booger on me. Brendan, yeah, I don't like. I've never liked smooth ohms resin. When I fished ever starts as a co, I would always tip my boat or twice what I thought it was standard, just putting up with all my rods. Tim, here's a question for you. I would like to know, do you have any good co-angler stories? Did you ever fish with anybody famous? Uh-oh. TK, could you match this color? That's scary. Come on, dude. It's a damn hobo eating a ham sandwich. Um, Stun us, spy bait, prop bait, spinner baits, and jigger staples for me now. Price and performance are excellent. Are you referring to Berkeley's lineup? They're getting better. I'll give them that. I don't hate the double uni. I don't hate the Palomar either. Um, especially like if I were using fluoro, I certainly wouldn't use a Palomar. Um, but with mono, the Palomar does just fine for me. But like I said, I typically always test the shit out of my knots, like to an extreme. So if I can pop it like that, like really hard, and it not break, then generally I'm not gonna throw something off. I'm not gonna like break off. Uh, I'm pretty, I'm pretty, I'm pretty anal about my knots, like checking them. And I've always watched KVD tie his knots, and he just goes, and he snatches them down and cuts them, and he like never checks them. I'm like, dude, how? What's the biggest or most expensive bait ever painted? Um, I don't know, probably a mother. I don't know what's like besides like the mother chaser, uh, like retail price for a bait. Probably mother. I painted plenty of those. Uh, Trying to think. I really don't know what's more than that. Like I've painted some. That's what I'm saying, Anthony. Tie you a loop knot and then 15 half hitches, and then tie you an overhand knot in the tag end. You're good. I have painted some like crankbaits from Japan, like riddle baits and shit like that. That's a $200 crankbait. Um, but Hinkles do go for a lot, but not. I mean, I guess if you wanted, I mean, I wouldn't consider a Hinkle the most expensive because I've literally painted hundreds of them, so I don't see them as like this like huge desirable. It might be desirable, but it's not like unattainable bait that's like people are scared to send off to paint. You know what I mean? Bob, I could certainly make your Berkeley baits not look ugly. Maybe make them not look as ugly. Uh, Tim, was it eye opening to fish with Coble, or was he like watching the damn paint dry? Brennan, you would be like the 10th person to do that. And then your name would be Mud. The cost factor for hollow core cost me $600 to spool up for one of my 8 weights. That's pretty pricey. Always chuckle when I find lures hanging on the shoreline brush that broke off or tied to a few overhand knots. T, have you ever had someone want no clear coat on their paint jobs? Do you remember when guys were doing that? No, I've never experienced anybody ask for no clear coat. The guys who know, how far off is a Hinkle and a phony? I think they're decently interchangeable. I don't think you'd be missing out by owning a phony. I don't think a Hinkle's going to get some mysterious bite that a phony won't. But if you're a purist, if you're a, you know, if you think it does something different, maybe. I wouldn't think it'd matter that damn much. What's the best 100 amp hour lithium battery to purchase? I don't. I'm out on the batteries, lithiums. I talked to a dude, owns a battery store, sells batteries, and he said he didn't trust lithium batteries. It didn't matter what brand they were. He said the technology's not there yet. I mean, all those guys that sell them will tell you it's right, but he didn't have faith in it. So, I mean, sure, I'm supposed to get better hook rash. I mean, sure, that would. I mean, that would certainly give you a smoother. I mean, I guess I don't. I mean, you could certainly throw a bait with no clear coat on it. But I mean, it's not just going to rash. Like when a fish bites it, it's going to drag paint off of it. So I don't think it would look great. I remember being nervous getting in the boat with Koval. He was actually pretty cool, to be honest, and I let him know I was just honored to be there and I wouldn't be getting in his way. Did the next question, Tim? Did y'all catch him? Was he on them? They will catch the same fish. I'm with Jeremy on that. I don't think if you and your buddy are swimming two identical baits, one a Hinkle, one a phony, I don't think fish are going to run up to the phony and be like, no thanks, let me go eat this Hinkle. I think they pretty much do about the same thing. Close enough. Maybe they stopped making light tests because no one bought it. I don't just let anyone use my reels with hollow core spooled up. Would you be pissed if I had on like a big fish and then I decided to smoke a cigarette and then start pumping and reeling and then burn the line and then all the line went off? You know, a couple hundred yards of hollow core. Would you curse me? Would you say, damn it, painter? My rod 150. I think that's Butch. Swim bait rod. That's a pretty good deal. That's good tip. Oh. Bucks swim bait rod. $150. not Butch. Does Butch have a swim bait rod? Oh, Bailey, yeah. Which one? Which Bailey though? There's two brothers. Which one got the swim bait rod deal? That needs line. Does this need line? No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Chatterbait. Oh, I already have one. I'll throw this one. I'm just going to trim the skirt up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how the paint doesn't just rub off the bait, but it doesn't. It just gets scratchy super easy. Yeah, it's because it's solvent. It's not like there's nothing. It's already cured. Like it's stuck. Just like spray paint. Like you can spray paint a bait, and it's going to be decently durable on its own because water's not going to impede it any. Where's my trash can? I guess I have to use this Pepsi cup. Okay. Perfect. Now, if it's water based is going to, every time you throw it in the water, it's going to start deteriorating and breaking down the paint. But if it's anything that's got a solvent base to it, nothing's going to break that down but lacquer, thinner, acetone. Woo! Straight as a damn arrow. She, my little crabby. 705, got some line. Should be good. Probably about 150 bucks, roughly. See if this is bad line or good line. Might not have taken enough off. That'll snag one. Kyle, they won't be able to get that one, bro. They won't be able to get that one. That's proprietary. That's proprietary blend. Tim, why don't you send him a message and say I want to fish with you? Hide up stagger hog. It looks like it would be killer flip bait or a free rig bait. Kind of resembles a crab or crawl. Then I already like it. If it looks like a crab. Bob, email me, sure, tacklecraft@gmail.com, craft with a K, or on Instagram or Facebook, whichever you so choose. What about the new Icon Boat Circle Jerk Andy Hauser of Team Marine did last night? I did not see that. Jeremy, I have not. I built one. Um, I built one many moons ago for that reason, and I just never, like, uh, I just never got into it. It was like right when I first started painting, so it was probably 10 or more years ago, 10 or 12. Built it out of balsa, 2 piece. Good looking frog sitting over there. I made the bill out of a Plano tackle divider. Tim, you ain't getting any younger, and neither is he, dude. That dude's gonna be gone before you know it. You're gonna wake up and be like, "Damn, I can't believe that guy's gone. I should have asked him. I should have went fishing with him. I really like. You don't want to have a regret. Like, ask him. Who gives a shit? If he says no, he says no. You at least know. He might say, "Sure, I'd love to go fishing with you, dude." But I mean, I would think anybody, if they're not total pricks, would say, would be flattered that somebody would say, I look up to you. I've looked up to you and admired your fishing ability for damn near 20 years. Like, it's on my bucket list to fish with you. And if he says I'm good, you're probably better off. But I would think if somebody told me that, I'd say, well, hell, I'd like to take you fishing, dude. Um, and then then you get to go fishing with him. And I'm sure, honestly, Tim, like at this point in the game, probably back in the day when he was like fishing all the top 150s and the opens and all the like BFLs and big shit like that, people were probably bugging him. But at this point, he's probably not as desirable. You know what I mean? Like he's probably not getting bugged as much as you think he is. And it's not bugging him when somebody's like stroking his ego. And it's, I mean, but you're being honest. I just want to fish with you, dude. And I've thought about that a lot myself. Like guys that I grew up fishing against and that I admired and wanted to beat, that made you better. They made you the angler you are now because they were doing good and you needed to get to their level in order to compete. And you looked up to those guys because they were winning. They were beating ass. Um, and you'd kind of, when they were all those years that they were kicking your ass, you kind of like to get in the boat with them and just be like, I just want to see how you do it. Like now, I think once you kind of establish yourself that you know what you're doing, and you know, I'm not trying to. I don't need holes. Like I don't need to know where you fish. Don't give a shit. Like I just want to watch somebody that's you know I look up to or I fished against that did real good on days when I know it was tough and I couldn't figure them out. Uh, Guys that did figure them out, they know their shit. I'd like to see how they do it, and it's not just do anything, just like see how they break down a day and see how they read water, see how they adjust, just see how they. It has nothing to do with where they are or what they're throwing. It's just how they break down water. Um, just the well thought out corporate talking points to say that and the shit on the show. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Tim, go for it. David is a beast of a crankbait fisherman, and it wouldn't bother me if he was an asshole as long as I got a chance to observe him on the boat. Well, you could even put that in your little spiel. David, I don't care. If you want to get out there and talk shit to me about my little crummy crankbait collection and how sucky of an angler I am, even though you're not, and you don't have a sucky collection, maybe that's what he's looking for. Maybe that might be the little edge you need for him to say, you know what? Let me prove to this guy I'm not an asshole. And then you pull the reverse psychology on him, and he takes you to his best holes in order to prove to you how nice of a guy he is. Might use that to your advantage. David, I hear you're a total prick, and I don't even care if you're a prick. I still want to go fishing with you. Let me show this guy I'm not a prick. I'll even take him to the juice. So, Tim, get off the damn stream and go write your sonnet to David Wright. Bo, what you doing? I sound just like my daughter. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? All right, I gotta get off of here. I gotta think, and I gotta get up and get boxes collected. Um, Tim, when's that gonna happen? See, I think you're better off in the DMs because it's much easier to blow somebody off um, in person, right? Hey, man, I'd like to go fishing with you. Sure, man. Yeah, we can do that. And then you just, go talk to the next guy. But if you're like, if you have a paper trail, it's the same thing I learned in construction. Always have a paper trail, CYA, cover your ass. You create the paper trail so you can say, listen, I want to do this and I want I want to put this in writing to where we can make this happen. Not just, people pleaser. Hey, yeah, man, we'll go fishing. Yeah, just let me know. And then walks off. Don't have your phone number. Don't have your email. Don't have any way of contacting you. It's just a, blowing smoke. But if you talk to him, hell, the way old timers are, you could probably say, David, uh, or just maybe you could get his phone number, like create a little small talk in the chat. Let's see if you can get his phone number. A lot of those guys like talking on the phone rather than texting and typing. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go about it. I'd blast him in the DMs though, because then he'd feel a little youthful. It'd make him feel young. Getting blasted in the DMs, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm like these young guys, still getting blasted in my inbox." Um, Pretend I'm selling him HVAC equipment. And there you go. How's that AC working? Ah, it just went out. Oh, really? Little does he know you went by his house and cut his cooling lines. Oh, you need an HVAC? Imagine that. I'm an HVAC tech. Probably could help you out. We can talk about it on your boat when you take me fishing tomorrow. Smiley. Is that how it's going to go down? Maybe you should just, here's an idea, Tim. Send him this damn video and say, hey, we talked about you for damn near 10 minutes and how I should approach you about taking a fishing trip with you. So here you go, David Wright. Tim Maynard really wants to go fishing with you. He's admired you for a long time, and he thinks you're a great angler and has a lot of respect for you. So I think it would be in your best interest and his to maybe put a little fishing trip together, have a good time on the boat. He'll even throw you some gas money, probably double. Might even give you a modified crankbait that you could win a tournament on. Who knows? But I think it'd be fun. Make-A-Wish. Fisherman's Make-A-Wish Foundation over here. I click on bringing beautiful swim baits to life, and somehow I got Tony Robbins. Oh, that's funny. I'll show them to you though if you want to see the beautiful swim baits that came to life. They got eyeballs put in them, and they got tails put in them. Look at this head detail, bro. Sends a video and says, "Eat a dick." He says, "Hey, stalker, leave me alone." I could probably go throw this one, Kyle, since nobody's going to claim it. We did that one. We did this bass, bleeding bass, because his buddy told him he slayed on a bass that I painted, which I don't doubt. And then we did a good old crappie, black crappie. So Jeremy, it's not a bad idea. You could probably dip it in some Spike It, and it would look nice. The brown does kind of throw it off, but that's not. I guess I could dye it for him, but he didn't ask for it, so he could color it up with a Sharpie. I'll get him. Tim, are you gonna be pissed if I get in the boat with him first? If I send you a Instagram story and I'm like, David, say what's up to Tim Maynard. He saw my video, Tim. He took me fishing. He was so impressed with my little spiel. He said, "Screw that Tim guy. I want to fish with a painter." And then Tim's gonna. I'll be on the Tim Maynard shit list. No more HVAC tips or Norman tips, which I still haven't seen your Norman stuff, Tim. So maybe I am on the shit list. How the hell do you forget about a swim bait? I don't know, dude. The owner of the dude who makes the bait sent it to me in as from the customer, I believe, because the customer broke the tail. He replaced the tail for the customer, then sent it to me for paint, and I don't know who to send it to. Dude went rogue on me. Crankbait wizard falls ill after ingesting 30-year-old Uncle Josh pork. No, but Amy did tell me, she was like, so I was listening to you talk yesterday. I said, yeah. And she said, I had my AirPods in, and she said, when you licked the juice from the pork frog, she said you made this noise with your lips and your tongue, like. And she said I wanted to crawl out of my skin because it was like deep in my ear holes. And she said it was awful. I was like, well, I apologize to anyone listening. But I didn't I didn't die. We're still kicking. I could taste it. Actually, I wiped some of that frog goo on this handkerchief, and then I blew my nose in it this morning, and it smelled like huffing an Uncle Josh jar because it had all that Uncle Josh jism still on it. And I put it on my mouth like that, and it was like, whew. If you want to wake up, huff your little Uncle Josh. It get you fired up. You sniff your little Uncle Josh before you talk to David Wright, Tim, and he'll think you're on the damn booger sugar. He'll be like, damn, this guy's fired up. He's an army of moonshiners and bluegrass musicians. He'll he'll fiddle you to death. But anyway, dudes, damn, I'm going on almost 3 hours. I got to get off of here. I got to pack my shit because I got to go fishing tomorrow. All right, y'all be good. We'll see you next time. Adios. Thanks for sticking around this long ass time. I pour a jar in each. After COVID and inking Uncle Josh, you should be immortal, hopefully. And now I've got RSV running through my bloods. RSVP, RSVIP. I'm good. I'm bulletproof. Just kidding. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself. We'll see y'all.